let's I actually just want to add something for last week's episode, the gnarliest set injuries, because I listened to that right before coming on here, and that
was one of our first episodes. Yeah.
No, it's the third episode.
The third episode.
Yeah. That was with
Harry.
Felt like such a long time ago. Yeah.
It was.
The gnarliest injury I've seen on set was actually in Thailand, and it was basically we were doing a drone shot, and the drone got about 4 feet off the ground before the wind took it down, and it hit the dirt, but the propellers were still spinning. And our production coordinator, he's this Thai guy. He was the closest person to the drone at the time, and I think just instinctually he reached for it to like save it from the ground, and it's like kicking around, kicking in the dirt, and just like out of control. He reaches in and it cuts through his arm to the bone.
What?
Oh man!
I didn't know they were freaking knives on that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they go so fast and they're so thin. Like they are drones are very dangerous to work with. But as long as you have somebody who knows what they're doing, like usually it's fine. And as long as you know, like, wow, the propellers are spinning, don't reach for it.
Touch
you know.
Yeah.
So it cut through the bone. This was early in our day, and he left set to go to the hospital, and we didn't expect to see him back, but. Something maybe I'll get into later in the episode, but working in Thailand, everybody there has such amazing work ethic that he was back within 2 hours. He was like, yeah, they gave me 27 stitches.
Oh my God.
And I was like, are you sure you don't want to just go home? I think we're okay here. And he's like, no, I'm going to finish the day.
Damn.
He was like, they gave me pain medicine, but I don't want to take it while I'm working. So he just powered through 27 fresh stitches in his arm.
What's his number?
Unfortunately, it's a Thai number, so I don't
remember him.
And you were what was your job
I was the first AD on that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, how am I responsible for this injury? But
wow.
So I did 2 movies in Thailand back to back,
Nice.
2 9-day shoots with 1 week in between. We prepped both movies for 2 weeks. We shot one in 9 days, took a week off to prep the next one.
2 weeks?
And then shot the next one in 9 days.
Wow.
So I got a lot of crazy stories
And that was a
from
feature.
Thailand as well.
Those
2
are-
features, back to back
Jesus Christ,
feature
man.
films in Thailand.
Any times you had to step in and direct from an AD, you had to like step up, like, oh shit, like the director's not doing it, so I have to go in and start blocking. I hear a lot of
my
ADs
God.
like where stories where the director will like leave and go.
Yep.
They'll literally
What?
leave after cut, and then the AD's like, we're setting up the shot without you.
That's happened a number of times over the 15 features that I've AD'd. Actually happened on both my movies in Thailand. I guess I'll just stick with Thailand
We
for
love
now
Thailand.
since we're there. The first one we did was with the director. It was 2 separate directors for one director per movie we did out there. The first one was the director I had worked with before, and he is an interesting guy. He's like very scatterbrained, but he's a machine. He knows how to pump out these low budget movies. He's directed like 20 of them. And so he just like gets the set and he knows what needs to happen, and he doesn't need a lot of hand holding from the AD. He needs more the AD to like get things ready. But anyways, we're in Thailand and he is on a lot of prescription medications, like uppers and then downers to come off the uppers. And I think those mixed, we were also drinking a lot just to get through all this shit.
There's that downer.
So all of that combined with the food there, he got so constipated that
Oh my God.
he didn't shit for like 5 days.
Oh jeez.
And it turned into like, now he has to go to the hospital because he's like bent over in pain.
Oh my God.
And so we're on the pass van to set, and he's like in the back of the pass van, like crying, like bent in half crying. And we're like, dude, you're going to the hospital. And he's like,
my
no, I got to come
God.
do the day. It's like, look, you know how I work. You've seen me in action. Like, do you trust me to take over for you while you go to the hospital?
Yeah.
Because you got to get checked out, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is not cool. And he was like, fine, whatever. And so I started that day. I did the first half of the day while he was off at the hospital. And again, another situation where he probably should have just stayed home. And he came back to set anyway.
That same day?
That same day. Yeah, they cleaned
he
him
in a
out.
wheelchair?
Full irrigation. And
God. I have a quick question.
Just on the stretcher.
Did you guys use walkies on that set?
we did.
I
yeah.
could just imagine, the director has the shits. We got-
Or he doesn't.
Here he does it. Yeah, that was more.
Or the
that was
best
more
thing he
the
has at
issue.
the hospital. All right, rolling.
that's not 10-2. That's like 10-5 or something. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
what that
Oh
is.
yeah.
That's so
I got a 10-2 so bad I'm going to the hospital.
You have to bring Video Village over there.
Oh my god. The sound guy's just hearing everything.
Oh no.
Oh god.
But so he came back.
He came back. Yeah,
Wow.
I was prepared to do the rest of the scenes that day, and
Yeah.
like they would have been fine. But no, he was like,
It's so bad.
he's like, it's my movie. I gotta
That's
come
kind
back.
of
I gotta take this
badass.
back over.
That's
Jesus.
dedication right there. It's
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
halfway out of the. one foot
Nobody in
the grave.
Hollywood would do that. They would just
Nope.
go.
We all knew ahead of time just via the conversations we were having during prep. Like this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, no.
We knew
Oh,
right
jeez.
away. Like this guy is clueless. His first language was Turkish. And so not only was there a language barrier between me and the Thai crew, there's a language
no.
barrier between me and my director.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
And he's a very sweet guy. I don't want to put him down, but I don't think he was prepared to do this movie. He got it. It's a long story how he got it, but he shouldn't have had this movie.
Oh, we've all know people like that.
Yeah. And so, anyways, he missed his first flight out to Thailand because it said 2 a.m. on like the 25th, and he thought it was like 2 a.m. the next
Oh god,
day.
he probably can't read call sheets. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
god.
so
Oh my god.
so he missed his flight
His email got
and
there.
didn't
day late.
even realize he missed it till he was on the way to the airport the next day.
What?
And we're all freaking out because
Oh
he's
my
supposed to have
God.
landed, and we can't get a hold of him because it's nighttime in the U.S. while it's daytime over there. And so we're like, what the fuck? Did he just like drop off the face of the earth? Like, who's gonna direct our movie now? Anyway, he finally gets in touch with us and tells us what's happening. It's like, okay, so you're gonna miss like 2 of the 5 prep days we have to actually prep this movie. Great. So I had to take over during prep for the scouts and stuff while he was gone. But once he actually got to Thailand, our suspicions were confirmed. This guy was pretty incompetent. And it was, again, a very VFX heavy script, character, special effects makeup kind of heavy script. And this guy's only answer for, hey, how are we going to shoot this is, oh, we'll fix it with camera tricks.
No.
And it's like, I would love to hear about these like magical camera tricks you have.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because,
He
like-
wasn't communicating with you at all?
Just camera tricks. That's how we'll do it. Camera tricks.
Yeah.
I was like,
No.
okay, you want to tell me your
What
tricks?
does that even
Tricks?
mean?
I don't. I mean, normally what a camera trick would be is like forced perspective, like putting something small close to the lens in comparison with something big away from the lens to make them look like they're closer in size. That's a camera trick, right?
Yeah.
But like he
psychological closure.
couldn't explain that
oh.
perspective, or like what forced perspective would be, let alone any other camera trick that is in his magical
Such a
bag of
broad-
camera tricks for how we're
Yeah.
gonna shoot this movie.
It could be a close up. It could be a
so-
shot inside the wall.
It's a plate. No one knew. And they're running through.
Yeah, and it, like again, his first language was not English, so not only was he not a good director, he was a bad communicator, and like we've already covered, communicating is key. Like being a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
communicator is key to having a smooth running set, and so we all knew we were in for trouble from the get go. Yeah,
That's a great start. I'd never
Yeah.
heard of anyone like going to be a good DP from being an assistant director. Literally. And
Well, it
that's-
sounded like you got a taste of every department in there because it fell short and you
Yeah.
just had to step it up.
yeah,
that's
that's true.
That's go getter, man. Like
Yeah.
I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Another big piece of advice, and you brought it up earlier, is like if you're still like early in your career, try every department.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
try
please
it
do
once
that. I
because
would actually recommend it.
even if you like go back to the department you were originally in and you're like, you know what, none of those departments was right for me. That's great because now you understand what each of those department needs.
Yes,
and
please.
because film is a collaborative medium and it's so easy to have tunnel vision and only think about your own department. And I find that's true with DPs a lot of the time. They're like, camera's
No
ready.
offense, but
Camera's
yeah.
ready. Why aren't we shooting?
yeah.
It's like, hey man, you're not the only department.
Yeah.
So sorry.
And so,
man.
if you can have an understanding of art department
Yes.
and of sound and of camera and lighting
Let's shoot the
and
wides
all of
and
that,
close-ups.
no matter where you are, no matter what position you're in the film industry, you're going to have a better understanding and things are going to go smoother for you.
They had a monster truck on this shoot. I've never seen a monster truck on this shoot. They had a BMW. Nice. Brent, seriously. The whole purpose of it was to get beat with the bat and stabbed with my screwdriver. May I not add? They came up to me. They're like, "Hey, you got a screwdriver?" I'm like, "Yeah."
What?
And
You should have been
I
like,
saw-
hey, I need rental for this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we
Yeah,
charged
get
my
rental.
kid. I sucker into. I try to be nice, but I sucker into it. I'm like, yeah, the money man, the producer, get paying the checks. Like, I'll give you a screwdriver. He's taking the plate off. All right, great. And then I leave for a while, and I come back, and I'm like, is that girl stabbing the
my
thing?
God.
Because they were shooting it. Like she was mad at her boyfriend, stabbing this very nice BMW, beating it with a baseball bat. Go to Crafties, a whole pile of chips. It's Snickers.
That's it?
It's like on the ground,
What?
the little shop bottles of water.
Oh, you got
That's the
screwed.
worst.
It's like,
Yeah.
You got screwed. Get it? Get it? Okay.
yep. Yeah.
That one took me a second.
Wow. Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, that's a wrap for today's episode, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on,
Yeah.
Josh. You are amazing. I want to work with you. Seriously.
Absolutely, yeah.
If
work
there's
I work with Charles a lot.
and Jonathan too.
And,
Yeah.
and I've worked with
That's
Jonathan.
so crazy.
Yeah, just one more, and then we'll have the whole
Oh
gang
my
together.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Did you
all
want to put
here.
any shout outs or anything you're making right now that's out or coming out?
Yeah, so I don't know if any of your audience is into Dungeons and Dragons.
I am.
So cool. My friends and I
started.
have started a YouTube channel called Adventurers Pack. We have 2 series going currently on our channel. It's a miniature painting tutorials, and then we're breaking down the monster manual A through Z. It's called the Bestiary. We're up through the Arakocra, which is I won't even get into that. But yeah, A through Z, it's our 8th episode of that. And then hopefully within the next couple of months, we're going to actually start a live play stream on Twitch.
Nice.
Under Adventurers Pack. All that content will end up on our YouTube channel.
is
So
awesome.
go subscribe, please. We're just getting started. Still a lot more content to come. But it's going to be a really fun time.
Nice. What's
Awesome.
your Instagram so people can.
My Instagram is I am Glassman. That's my last name, Glassman.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not very active, so but there are some pictures from Thailand you'll find.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. And I recommend hiring this guy. He's just
Yeah,
sounds
please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Really?
I love working with new people.
Amazing. Yes.